Okay. There we go. Hey, how's it going? How you doing, Tyson?
Doing good today, doing good, feeling good. Now it's warming up, feeling a bit better.
If you guys are listening, this is our first ever podcast that we're doing. This is Tory North, a.k.a. Tri-Town Tory, bringing you that Graveyard Shift Radio exclusive. This is that Tory Talk. And today I have my buddy with me.
The pinnacle of punctuation.
That's right. I'm going to let him give the introduction on himself.
The one, the only, Tyson, the Straitjacket Johnson. Glad everybody to be here today. Beautiful day. To be alive.
How's your day going?
Pretty good right now. Pretty good. I'm glad here to be with Vic. It's been a while since I've been able to hang out with Vic, actually.
It has been it's been a long time, man.
It's been a busy year. Busy couple of months. Doesn't really feel like it's February right now, but we're getting into it. It's moving pretty quick this year. I think it's just because I've been engaged doing so much.
Just getting into a bunch of stuff.
Doing a lot of prep work, getting ready to do stuff, not so much doing stuff. So it doesn't feel like I've been doing anything because I'm just getting a lot of stuff ready to do. So, I mean, I'm going to be doing a lot, but right now it doesn't feel like I've been doing a whole lot.
You've been situating.
Yeah, not having a lot of end product, just in the beginning stages of a whole lot of things. So yeah, it's just moving along pretty good. Just I like to see results. I'm a results guy.
What's pretty interesting is that like the older I get, the importance that I see the importance of like preparation and how like it really is like hand in hand with success. Like if you want to accomplish anything big or small, you really do have to be prepared to some level, of what you're gonna do.
I think that goes to show with like the youth, the maturity, like cooking. I enjoy cooking, but only if I have my prep work done.
Okay.
Like other than that, if I don't have the supplies and I don't know that I have what I need or anything like that, I'm just gonna fast food it. I'm not gonna
okay.
Go home. Like,
I was gonna say break down the cooking because you could
home cooking versus fast food or Uber Eats or anything like that.
Okay.
Like just if you're into cooking, you got the pots and the pans and the right, knives or whatever you need to cook whatever you need. And, you got the stuff prepped, ready to go, chopped up, whatever needs to be done. So, like, that's more, I feel, of, like, an adult pleasure. Like, you don't enjoy cooking food as a kid or a young adult, but as you get older, you enjoy making food because you know what you like because you haven't developed a taste when you're younger. You like cheeseburgers and macaroni and cheese, and those are your two things you eat because you haven't developed a palate yet. Know what tastes good.
Exactly. Like you think that McDonald's is like,
Okay, so how can we go like that? Like, so knowing that kids don't have the same thing with like content.
Okay.
Right? Like you seeing, who your content's gonna hit. Like, if you're telling corny jokes, yeah, they're corny, but everybody, your audience, even if it's a small laugh, 100% of the audience is going to give you a 10% laugh. You're still getting 100% coverage over everybody with a corny joke, versus if you tell a real complicated joke, somebody might laugh their brains out, but half the room didn't get it.
Yeah.
Right. So, when you're making content, like it may be good to you or whatever, but like you got to look at the whole big picture for sure.
Yeah. So Tyson, Tell me about some of the things that you're interested in.
Interested in or what I've been working on? Projects and such? Or?
Like hobby level, breaking into like what you actually are working on currently. Like just all across the board and then bringing it back to what you're actually doing right now. Or have a hand in currently.
I've been working on a long-term personal project, like 6 months now. And it's coming kind of to a close here in a couple of weeks, And I don't know because like for me when it comes to projects and stuff, I'm out of my mind. And so I'm a yes man. So like if someone asks me, you know, oh, can you do this, or are you free to do this? Like I'll initial is yes, yeah, I can do it or whatever. And then I just got to figure it out later. Like what most of the time I'm jumping in over my head or I'm not prepared, but I'm still gonna do it. And so like like just trying to keep things, you know, that prep work ahead of time and stuff that you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
You know, trying to prep work for things that you're just like, all right, like so like the closer I get to my deadline, I guess like the more unprepared that I feel. Like
you're just you're not ready.
Like yeah, like
present.
I've been like steady getting stuff done, and I'm just like yeah no, and I'm like all right, well I don't know, I'm not really confident in this, but I mean like at some point, you know, like you gotta put out work because like
You got to put out.
if you got to play to win, right?
Yeah,
you got to play to win. If you're on the bench, you can't win because
Right.
you never played. Like so,
Right.
you got to play to win. So like yeah, I mean you know you got to fail if that's what it takes. That's all right. But I mean I don't know, your own personal feelings about your work have to be ignored sometimes. Like so for me the urinal joke, George Carlin talks about the urinal, how like half your audience is only going to get a urinal joke. Okay? All right? Because if you have half men in the room, only men are going to get that, all right? And I actually ran into this, all right? So I was minding my own business, scrolling through internet, bored at work, and I saw a picture. A Walmart employee, of course, they're wearing the Walmart vest.
Okay.
Everything happens at Walmart, of course, right?
Yeah.
So, Walmart employee has this thing in their mouth, and I thought it was funny, and so I showed it to one of the other ladies at work, and she looked confused, and I was like, "It's not funny," and she's like, "I'm not sure," and then so I showed it to one of the other ladies, and I was like, "Yeah, Walmart employee with this thing in their mouth," and they're like, "Is that a fly swatter?" And that's when I was like, oh, I'm like, you have no idea what you're looking at. Like, I was like, because for me, this is something that I see almost every day, and it's a very common basis. But I was like, I just showed you a picture of something, and you literally have no idea what you're even looking at.
Yeah.
Like, so what it was, when she said she thought it was a fly swatter, what it was the waffle cone splash guard smell thing, the urinal cake that's in the bottom of the urinal. Okay, so a Walmart employee had that in their mouth.
Oh.
Okay, and she's like, "What is that? A fly swatter?" All right, so like,
Oh my God.
For me, I see that every day. You know, I see the
urinal
cake,
joke.
the urinal waffle down
okay,
there. You know,
okay,
the urinal
okay.
waffle in the bottom there, and I piss on it. And I know what it is. You know, so to me that was funny for them to have that in their mouth, and I showed it to them, and they literally were just like, "I don't even know what I'm looking at." So like for like urinal joke, like it literally didn't hit at all. They didn't even know.
It falls directly into what he.
Yeah, so like when you're making content, like you have to know where it's gonna hit, like your audience, who you're aiming for.
Yeah.
Like absolutely, because I thought it was funny, and I just got a blank, confused look from them, and they had no idea what
that worked on so many levels. So.
Oh, absolutely, right? I was like, oh, you think that's a fly swatter? Like, yeah, I'm like, I can see why you would think that, but like, for me, I know exactly. I saw that thing and I knew exactly what it was. You know, I was like, oh, but
I'm sure that and there's probably like some, you know, gender opposite shit that would be the same way that threw us off. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. I guess that's why I can watch female comedians, but I don't really enjoy them. Like,
what about Whitney Cummings? You like Whitney Cummings?
I would have to do some more research on the topic. I'm not informed enough to make a call on that. I'm not sure.
Okay. He's gonna love you, Whitney. I'm gonna show him some of your clips.
All right, he'll show me up afterwards. We'll get the laptop over.
No, but I feel you. I'm with you on that. My favorite comedian right now and for forever it's probably gonna be Dave Chappelle. Like just ever since I was young, you know, like I wasn't like old enough to see Eddie Murphy really murdering it like in his heyday, but I know that he was great. I mean, it's documented very, very extensively. You know, the '80s were Eddie. You know, like literally. But then Chris Rock had his run too, you know. They throw Martin Lawrence in the mix.
Lawrence, yes.
You know, I think it's probably because of his show. He had a really popular show. Which show do you, if you had to put Fresh Prince versus Martin as the bigger show?
Fresh Prince was
most influential.
definitely bigger. Definitely bigger, I think. At least
But
from where I was.
quote worthy,
You know,
Martin's probably more quote worthy. Like I always hear Martin quotes all the time, like on Twitter and you know.
If anything, yeah, quotes, yeah, lines,
Mhm.
one-liners, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you have pop culture, like the dance and stuff like that,
Mhm.
coming from Carlton and stuff like
True.
that. Like there is pop culture things that aren't necessarily lines, but there is like
They were
and,
more,
and everybody knows the Fresh Prince song. Like as soon as that comes on, you know, you hear the first 3 beats and like, oh yeah, oh yeah, off you go.
I like both of them, but in two different ways. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I like the production value of like Fresh Prince because I felt like they were just, you know, bigger network, bigger budget. They got to do a lot more. They could do a lot more. But Martin, of course, had some really clever, creative, you know, storylines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, their use of like visuals. I think that I remember Martin's visuals a lot more than Fresh Prince's because Fresh Prince is almost his own. Like it's almost like painted with like a luxury like coat. Like the whole everything about that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's never like poverty, like in any kind of sense. Not even when they're looking back, you know.
There's struggle, but it's more personal.
True.
Like communication and yeah.
I think that being that
Community
everything.
struggle.
Tell me if I'm off on this, but probably the contrast by having everything, you know, in excess and luxurious kind of allows you to show the contrast of who you are inside because it's like a blank canvas. Like if you were to think of it like stripped down beats with like not too many instruments on it are really great for lyricists because their lyrics paint the canvas, so to speak. It would be the same idea, you know, if you were to allow that to be an analogy for that. Like I think that's I was onto something, but I'm stoned.
It's with your it's with your drive. So just like your just like your Maslow's like hierarchy, right? So first basic need of a human is food and shelter. All right. Once you get that, you know you need a relationship or a job. You need a job first.
Right.
You need a job, and then you get a relationship, and then you can start giving back to the community and everything like that.
Right.
And like rapping from the streets, like poor people, yeah, because they've got that drive, you know, to make money. So like
Right.
a lot of that is selling drugs and hustling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that's their drive, you know, because they're trying to, you know, get up to the next level. And so once you achieve the $1 million and you got the houses, then what are they rapping about? Driving Bentleys,
Right.
and how many swimming pools they got in their airplanes and everything like that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then, like, do they rap about building parks for the communities and giving back, or no? They leave music and they stop doing it and
Right.
actually go do that. Akon building electricity for half of
Akon.
Africa, or how many millions and millions of people.
Literally, he put the whole rap game to shame.
Mhm.
Like, just in the philanthropist sense, like, he's got his own city. I don't know how he, like, negotiated that. But that Akon bag is ridiculous right now. Like, you got your own fucking smart city. It's not regular. They didn't give him a old town road. They didn't give him a fucking dirt road. No, they gave this motherfucker a smart city. He's got baby Amazon next to the Amazon, my G. Real smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I apologize if that's, you know, geographically incorrect, but shout out to my man Akon. He's holding it down. Who would have thought Smack That all on the floor
All on the floor.
would just be...
Give me some more.
Would just be putting solar fucking panels up. That was a jukes too. That was so smart how he finessed that China credit line for $1 billion. That's fire.
Yeah.
you could
funny.
build a whole fucking nation, like a whole civilization with a credit line. Imagine an unlimited credit at Home Depot. I'm building blocks, motherfucker. I'm calling everybody's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Every unemployed motherfucker. Let's get this Hapo cart and this Home Depot cart. Let's go get the supplies. Let's build the neighborhoods up.
Just rebuild everything.
Right, and
Start
then let's go peel the trucks off the lots, and then just take over. No, I'm just playing. Don't say. I ain't saying
This
that.
fool's on that chill zone, huh?
Yeah, real smoke.
Big boss, huh?
Yeah.
Big boss.
That's yen.
So just been out here prepping this year. I don't know. Got a next weekend. I'm taking a guy up for his very first MMA fight in Spokane, up at a casino there. So it's always interesting to see how somebody handles when you throw them in the fire for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You always think you're gonna do things one way, but then when it comes time,
it's like that Mike Tyson.
What you do.
That Mike Tyson quote. What did he say? Everybody got to plan.
Yeah, until you get hit. Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. And you revert back to your just most primal thing. It's crazy. Like
yeah, it really shows. It shows a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. So it'll be exciting next week when we go up to Spokane for that fight. I been working one-on-one a lot with this kid, so it should be fun.
That's really awesome. Like how long have you been involved with what you're doing?
I've been doing MMA in Washington State. Let me see, since 2006. 2006, I started with my first fight. Trained everywhere from Yakima, Tri-Cities, Moses Lake, Spokane, all the way through the valley. Yeah, down there with those guys. Yeah, just pretty much all over. And then over in Idaho. Yeah, down in Oregon. Been pretty much anybody that fights around here, I'll train with them. I've been training over at the Wolf Pack here in Pasco for the past 3 years now. Moved into a new facility about 6 months ago or so. Doing good. We got a good high school program with Chiawana. So any of the youth stay out of trouble, come in, do some kickboxing, and get in shape and stay out of trouble. It's a good thing for sure. Yeah, I like working with the kids. It's pretty fun when you see the lights click, like the light turn on, like, oh, I can do this. Like, yeah, you just got to do it. Like, you can do anything. You just got to do it.
Literally.
Put hands on and, get a piece of it. Like, yeah, for sure.
That's like a milestone, literally, like, I mean, a personal milestone for some people, because a lot of people, that's the first thing that they've successfully, like, accomplished,
Yeah. And
like playing guitar or something,
yeah, just, and I prefer the Eastern, what are they? How does he say it? If you master yourself, you can master the universe, I believe is the saying, or something to that effect.
Okay.
And if I can sit in the gym there and I can throw this one punch perfectly, if I can do something that simple, I mean, just one simple thing, if I can focus enough just to do that right, then I can focus enough to do anything right. Like, start small, aim small, miss small.
Yeah.
If you want to punch somebody in the eye, you aim at your eye. You don't aim for the whole head. You aim for something real small. If you want to do something, you got to start little and work your way up. So nothing's impossible. So for any youngsters out there, I don't know how old everybody is, but like Super Mario, all right, NES Super Mario. Everybody plays it the first time the same way. You pick up the controller, you run forward, you hit the bad guy and you die. And then you start with your second life. And then you run forward, you jump over the bad guy, and then you fall in the hole and you die. And then you get your third life, and then you run, you kill the bad guy, you jump over the hole, you keep going. And then you get bit by the guy coming out of the tube and you die and you restart. But you know what? Every time you got further and you did better, like, there's no reason not to approach everything with that. Because, I mean, as long as you're learning, you're not failing, right? You're getting something done. Progress is sometimes learning is progress, right? Not succeeding.
Yep.
Winning is not always progress. Definitely, winning is not always progress.
That's big. That's definitely big. That's good to think about. It's kind of deep, because there's another expression that kind of sounds like that, like not all money is good money, or something along the lines like.
Oh, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think everything that you just said, is really important for somebody who's, a certain kind of someone who's going to be listening, of course. Where did you start with martial arts? Like, where did you start?
Let me see.
Where's the interest? Where's the seed go into the ground? Like,
my very first introductory to martial arts had to be Taekwondo in Nebraska. Had an uncle who would teach, and he would drive around to different towns when